forget.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah. Okay. So exciting times right now. As Jen was just saying, how the energies right now are really ripe for moving forward in your dreams and desires. And this is cool because that's what we're talking about today and the manifesting part. So this section is called the Soulfully Magnetic Entrepreneur, but truthfully, it's about manifesting. It's about manifesting in your life. And we're going to continue this conversation like right through to the end of April because we go through the 5 modules of the Soulfully Magnetic Entrepreneur. And then there's a whole pile of money mind flow that we will keep going with, which is so powerful. And the last time, I'm super excited because the last time we did the money mind flow, it's 20, I think it was 21 days, if I remember correctly. And that is when like the stuff I manifested during that, oh, it's 12 days, 12 days. So it'd be 12 weeks because we're going to spread it out week by week. Um, so that was, I wrote in my journal December 21st, 2021 was the first time I did that with a group. And quite honestly, haven't done it with another group because I was like, no, it's going to be in this package with you guys. So I didn't offer it again. But in 12 days, I manifested. We were gifted a new window. Like we had ordered a new window because our basement window had broken and it was super cold. So we had ordered a new window and from my son-in-law, and he wouldn't let me pay for it. So we got this new window. John got a bonus at work, $250, and then $100 grocery card. That was separate from any Christmas stuff, any Christmas gifts. All of this was separate. Then a friend, Kimberly, I don't know, some of you know her. She's right now in Reclaim Your Radiance. She gifted me a $60 ticket to win a teepee. Then I won the teepee. So, and then my painting sold for $500, which it was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And then along with that, I received new downloads for the Heart Awakening Codes, which is another program I do. And I felt such a deeper resonance. So it was like so much came through. And also then the other girls, like one girl manifested $9,000 bonus and a $600 check. And it just kept coming through. So as a group, we were doing so much. So I'm excited to start that one too, but it truly does begin with this one because what this program is about, it is about the energetics within you that magnetize clients to you, that magnetize your dreams and desires. So even though I talk about business, like for you, Lane, think about just life in general. It doesn't have to be business, right? But I will use that entrepreneur because as an entrepreneur, you are so focused on manifesting every day. You're manifesting, new programs and and ideas and inspirations, and you're trying to manifest more clients and you're trying to manifest money to keep your business going, right? So it's constantly on your mind. And what I found through this journey of manifesting, which is what I started to try and figure out 30 years ago, was when I'm like, okay, I know manifesting works. I'm going to figure this out so that I can be consistent with it and teach it. And it's taken me many years to figure it out and I can't say that I have it fully figured out, but I know it's much more consistent now. It's much more in flow. And I've paid really close attention to what's working and what isn't working and when do I truly nail it. And what I do know is that there's more to it than manifesting. What's happening is I am growing, I am changing, I am becoming more and more in me, like becoming fully me. And it really is that. The universe manifests through energetics and emotions. And it really is so closely entwined to your energy, your deep desires, your what was I going to say? I just lost my thought there. Your belief in you and your trust in the universe. And so all of that has to do with who we are becoming as a person, who we are growing into, right? So we're going to talk about quantum conversations today. We're going to have those quantum conversations. Um, we're going to really talk about integrating your soul in with the powers of the cosmos. And I've been talking a lot about this in Mystic Conversations. If you watched that at all, I talked about how do we channel? How do we go deeper? How do we get that? It's like it is that deep, deep desire within you to strengthen that connection with the universe, to say, I really, really feel that reverence within me that there is a bigger energy out there. And I know that I can work and dance with this energy, that it is here for me to play with and to work with. But there also needs to be a deep respect for it, because we're not, it's like playing with matches sometimes. We can light big fires. Um, so this, there are these universal laws that we as humans, we've ignored. We have thought that we are the center of the universe, and we are not. We're not. And more people are coming into that realization that there is so much more. There is so much that we don't know yet. We may never know in our lifetime, but there is so much going on here. And I know that, what has really deepened that understanding for me is the, inquiry into astrology, the following into astrology. I think this is the year I'm taking some astrology courses. I really do. I think it's going to happen this year. I debated between human design and astrology, and I'm leaning more to astrology. I love it. So, but following that astrology has really opened me up and gone, wow, really? There is some other energy at play here that we are mingling with, and we have no idea what we're doing and how big it is. So, when we decide as the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur to step into this game, it is about going deeper into understanding who you are becoming, who you are growing into, and paying close attention to that. Instead of being in the foggy brain every day, we are consciously waking up in the morning, paying attention to our energy, paying attention to our deep desires and where we're going and what we're desiring to create, and knowing that we play a big part in this. So how do you get there? It's like it's a walk. It's when you dedicate your life to becoming the best possible version of you, and knowing that this is your business, that you are entwined with your business. Your business is you. You are your business. And so when you go, okay, I know that as I evolve and I become the best possible version of me, that's my business. We're one right now. And at the level that we are at, our business has not taken on its own identity yet. Soulfully Aligned Women, my brand, is starting to become that. It's starting to take on its own energy, its own identity. And my job is to rise up into being the person who is who is big enough in my energy to run that business, right? So it's kind of like me rising up into the Soulfully Aligned Women brand, but it truly is a journey. And that's what today's module is. It's the journey to becoming the soulfully magnetic person, entrepreneur person. It's a journey of you growing, and there's no peak, there's no end. It's a continual journey as you walk through your life. And it's like the walk of a lifetime. It's the journey of a lifetime, and your business evolves and grows as you do. And as you strengthen those beliefs, the trust, the understanding, the love, the forgiveness, everything, as you grow all that, your business grows because it is becoming the best that you can be. And this is what magnetizes people to you. So you've done a lot of personal work, you've done a lot of healing and growth and to get where you are now. And then when you feel like you are like, okay, I've done all this healing work, which is kind of, I mean, the healing is layered, it's never completely over, but you do get to a point where you're like, okay, I feel like I've done a lot of personal work, a lot of cleaning house, a lot of clearing out. And now what? How do I scale up to the next level? Right. And so it is truly, each of us has our own codes to decrypt with, and that is that relationship between you and your soul, you and your not your business, the universe, to figure that out, because nobody's is the same, which is why there's no specific step by step to manifesting. It's very general. Well, you might need to work on this area or this area or this area, right? And it's kind of wishy-washy because we are all on our own path. We are all on our own path of becoming, and we need to keep having those deep conversations with our soul, saying, okay, what is it that I need to know that will unlock these codes for me, that will take me to the next level? And so I can truly share the things that have helped me unlock and keep moving forward. But each of us has our own little tricks, right? And there are strategies for sure. There are strategies that you can do in your business. But truly the strategy doesn't matter. It's whatever lights your fire, as far as social media or handing out pamphlets, or like I do free master classes, like whatever makes you feel good is going to be the right strategy for you. But it is really more about your energy, your growth. Where are you at? Who are you becoming? And that is what strengthens us. So it's about walking in your power and recognizing that this is your individual journey. And I cannot stress that enough. We cannot copy anyone else. We cannot walk anyone else's path. We can learn from them, and that will help us grow. But this is your walk of a lifetime. You are the heroine of your own story. And I actually talk about this a little bit in Reclaim Your Radiance this week. It's about you recognizing that you are in a story that is still unfolding, and you are the heroine. You are the one becoming. So the becoming, the continual evolution, the growth, the commitment to you has to be first. Being you and not chasing after something, not chasing after, oh, I want to be like this person. It's no, I want to find out who I am at my most ultimate potential. Who am I? Who am I? And who do I desire to become? So we can use, we talked about this a little bit too in the Mystic Business, about looking at somebody, a role model, somebody that you look at and go, okay, she's got it together. She's really standing in her power. And I really kind of I want to be like that. We can have that, but knowing that we're going to do it in our own way. Becoming like that incredible human being is what magnetizes people to you. And it's not about having to love everybody unconditionally, right? It's more about you knowing you. You know who you are. You stand in your power. You don't question yourself. You know the universe is supporting you. You know that you've got this. It may not work out perfectly every time, but you're okay. And you're not wishy-washy or wavering or looking for external um validation and permission that you are standing strong in who you are. And so anytime you look at your life and you go, why isn't this working? Right? Why isn't why like there's so many times, and I'll talk about this more after, that I put a program out and my biggest fear was that only one person would enroll, right? That's worse than nobody. Because if nobody enrolls, then you just quietly let it go and nobody notices. One person enrolls, it's like, oh my God. And I actually got to the point where I was like, "Hey, you know what? That's okay. I'm okay. We'll just wait until we get a few more come in, right?" I did that to Kelly. Kelly came into this very first one after I got back from the Whitney's retreat in 2022, and I was so fired up, and I started like coming online and saying, this is happening, I'm going to create this program. And she's like, okay, I'm in. And I'm like, yes, we're starting in February. Well, we didn't start until what, August, because Kelly was the only one for a long time. And I'm like, Kelly, we got to wait. I'm working on it. We're going to do this. It's still going to happen. And she was so great.
I've spent many years waiting. I'm very accustomed to waiting. So
Oh,
and
wow.
it's been worth it. So
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear
I'm
that.
so I'm so glad that you girls all joined as well. So
Yeah. And I didn't know Kelly before she joined. So it's not like she was a friend that went, okay, Janice, I believe in you. She she came in kind of cold going, I think I really want to connect with you. So so there was that part too. There was that like fired up energy that drew her in, right? Like that fired up, oh my God, this is happening. I'm creating this. And that is magnetic too. So, anyways, I lost what I was gonna say there. Um, I'm not even following my notes, so I'm kind of okay. So the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur is already within you. You just have to kind of pull her out. She's already there. She already knows what you need to do. You already have enough information to move forward. So there's this intelligence, right? And then there's integration. There is learning, and then there like the smarts, and then there's the wisdom. And the wisdom comes from deep realizations. Intelligence comes from information. They're both super important, but we can really kind of get caught up in that perpetual knowledge stuff, like, oh, I need to know more, because it's easy to put that everything else on the back burner, the fears that are keeping us from moving forward. But we can get caught up in that. But one thing that we are not taught as we grow up, there is such a strong pull for us to get the degree, get the certificates, get this, get that, and then you'll be ready, and then you'll be, respected enough to offer. And there is, as a teacher, I do highly believe in education. But we aren't taught to take the journey of wisdom, the wisdom that comes from, growing from being a young woman, a girl, into becoming a woman. Like there's no support for that journey into womanhood. you know, I always felt too young and I didn't know enough, right until I think when I hit 50 was when everything changed. But I always felt too young. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough. I can't talk about that. I don't know enough. And I, grew up, was a teenage girl. Nobody sat me down and said, this is what womanhood is about. Nobody taught me how to dig into the wisdom of womanhood. We didn't get that. None of us did, I'm sure. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did. You had a wise grandmother or something, but no, to sit the young woman down and go, okay, now, you're 18. You're coming into your womanhood. Here's a journey. Here's the wisdom to take with you. You need to go within and here's how to do it, right? So I went from 18 to being married and having a baby at 20. And I just, there was no bridge to womanhood. And that I feel like that is missing for all of us. That journey into the wisdom, the wise woman within you, and allowing her to come out and allowing her, we go from being little girls. It's like, okay, don't do that. Don't sit that way. Don't say that. Don't behave that way. You don't want to attract too much attention. You got to be safe. Don't let anyone touch you, into being a woman. And we're like, I don't know how to be magnetic. I don't know how to do that. And there is a missing piece there. A missing piece that allows you to step into that womanhood, that fire, to understand that fire within you, to be able to work with that fire and grow that fire in with emotional intelligence without, burning the house down when you lose control. There wasn't any guidance in that. And so this is what we're doing now. This is our journey into becoming, fully becoming who we are. I mean, women have been feared for so long because of the fire within them. And I love that post you did, Micah, about the fire. It's like, oh, yes, yes, that, right? We've been feared and it's been pushed down. And we've been pushed down for so long because we don't know how to handle our fire. The world doesn't know how to handle our fire. And we've never quite figured that out, but we are. That's the feminine energetics. We are figuring it out now. We are kind of going, yeah, I got this fire in me. Man, I am powerful. And we've never had the opportunity to expand that and really see where that goes. And this is part of the magnetic entrepreneur, the magnetics within you, the journey of becoming fully in, stepping into that womanhood and claiming it and being proud of it and saying, yes, this is who I am. And I love being a woman and I love my fire and I know how to walk with my fire. And when my fire is getting really big, I know what to do so that I don't burn anyone around me, so that I know how to work with my emotions with an intelligence and ask for what I want or what I need with love and not anger, the fire of anger. Anyways, that's a little off track for today, but
This
so,
is the book that was in.
oh, Burning Woman. Okay, wait a minute. Let
It's
me write.
by, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
I just, like, I got it a month or two ago and I just started reading it, I don't know, this morning, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Who's the author?
Lucy H. Pierce.
Okay. Awesome. You find good books.
But she talks about in the front of it how she knew she needed to write this book, but she also, as she was writing it, was like, I could have actually been burned for what I'm about to write in this book. Like, And in some countries, I still would be, but I'm going to write it anyways.
That's fabulous. I love it. See there, that's it. That's letting the fire out. That's letting us claim our power and discover where it will take us. Where will it take us? Because we're so used to being the good girl and being quiet and but there's ways that we can expand our power without scaring everyone around us. Mm. Okay, and
I have something to say.
please do.
Yeah, just on this whole manifesting topic. So I've always loved this topic. I didn't realize about 13 years ago that I was manifesting, but I was manifesting. I manifested my husband and my daughter. And now that I learned about manifesting, I'm like, oh, I manifested them. How cool. So I, about 4 years ago, took Gabby Bernstein's manifesting challenge. So, and she holds them every January, and it's like she has one right now, and it's for 3 weeks, and you work on manifesting and meditation, and super cool. So at that time, I was struggling to get pregnant with my son. So I was trying to manifest him. So by the end of that month, I manifested him. It was so cool. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But one thing I really learned through it all is if you're manifesting to serve others, it comes faster. So if you write down how you're going to serve others through whatever it is that you want, it comes faster.
So true. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that because women don't like to be selfish. So when we know that what we're asking for is going to make the world a better place, we remove the blocks and allow that flow, right? Allow it in.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
Totally.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I love talking about manifesting. Oh. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so being stepping into womanhood. So the soulfully magnetic woman in business, she has stepped into that journey of wisdom, of stepping into womanhood, and she becomes more and more magnetic. So there's something about her that people are attracted to, and it's easy to see. If you pay attention, it's like people, like she's comfortable in her own skin, right? She knows there's a sacredness in her own life and holds her life in reverence, and she's not trying to be masculine and authoritative in her business. She's fine. She's stepping into it. She's like, I got this. It's okay. I'm good. And I'm not worrying about what anybody else thinks or does. I am serving. Like you said, Erlene, I am serving. I'm bringing this through because this is my gift and my ability. And this is the way I can participate in this tapestry of life. I get to put my part in. And so she knows she belongs. She doesn't question that. She's cleaning that shit up, right? She's getting rid of it. She says there's a place at the table for me. I got this. And so when somebody is standing in that energy, like we are attracted to her because we're just like, yeah, God, I want to be there. I want that too. She's got it and I want it. And I feel safe around her. And I feel like that can be me around her. And so this is the journey into womanhood. We got to stop comparing ourselves, stop criticizing ourselves, stop, you know, second guessing and thinking we don't have enough intelligence for it because we have that inner wisdom. I know what I was going to say before. This year too is a very strong energy of no longer needing the books. As much as we love the books and love reading them, I've got so many books on my cabinet in spiritual growth books that are actually going to be kind of useless. People are going to start to realize the truth is within them. They're learning how to channel for themselves and go inside for the truth. All those beautiful books that I have, my Wayne Dyer books and stuff, they're outdated. We're in a new energy, a new paradigm now. And I still can't just quite give them away, but I do have a lot. So if you need anything, let me know. I will start giving them away because we're on a new path now. We're totally on a new path now. Okay. Okay, so living in full presence. When you are so busy and it's really, and we're kind of reliving that as grandparents, but when you're a young mom and you're working full time and you're taking care of the kids and you're keeping the household together and you got a marriage, you got to work on that partnership too, and that keep working there, you are exhausted. You are draining yourself, and you'll find that you get irritated. You maybe push people away. You push your spouse away because you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I got nothing left to give. Please leave me alone tonight. Right? This is normal, but it's because you're draining your energy and you're not putting you first. And so being here and doing this work is like step one. You are doing it. You are putting yourself first. You are saying, this is important that I take care of me, that I have that deep relationship with me, that I balance out my masculine, feminine energies. Because, of course, when we're doing it all in the household and we're taking care of everyone and everything, and that's masculine, there's no room for the feminine intuition, the leaning back into space, the leaning back into your heart, right? And listening and being intuitive. We need to build that space in. And I get it. I know how hard that is. Like I thought I could do it all and do that for so long. And I kept going, right? Teaching in the classroom. And the last 2 years, it's like something's got to give here, Janice. You cannot keep doing this. This is not working. And now that I'm in that, it's like I have so much space for creativity, for reading, reflecting, writing, and everything is sinking in deeper for me. So we have got to slow down and have that space. And that's that's so important about being in your magnetic alignment. And remembering that if your business is to grow, if you and your business are one, your business is you, and your business is to grow, it has to start at the energetic foundation. Where's that energy going to come from if you haven't created space for it? Your business is not going to grow unless you allow that space for it. Okay, so you got to shuffle things around, and that makes people uncomfortable. But the beauty of it is when you do find that soulful magnetic alignment and you step into that powerfully and you just say, hey, I'm doing this for me, and you better figure it out, get comfortable with it because it's going to happen. The reverse happens. They become more attracted to you, right? And you have that access to that, that enchantment within you, that magic within you, and everybody else goes, I'm coming along. Excuse me. Okay. I'm feeling so much better, by the way. I really am. I'll get rid of this cough yet. So I want you to think about, what is the story you're creating? What is the story unfolding in your life? What is the story you're going to tell at the end of your life? Are you going to be that wise, soulfully magnetic woman in the end, right? And so how are you becoming her? And what would she be like now if you could meet her? What would she be like if you consulted with her and go, okay, what do I need to do to become more of you? What's she look like? Think about it and picture somebody, is as we did we did the wealthy woman section of the mystic business. We talked about, who is she? What does she look like? And I often would picture like Louise Hay, somebody that always, she's classy, she's calm, she's, had it together. She was able to make decisions that were wise decisions in her life and built up, Hay House Publishing. She was in her 50s or maybe older. I can't quite remember when she started that. Like, she took her life and learned and grew and became, and she kept becoming more and more her. And then she brought that out to the world. And I think I shared in that module too about the book I read when I was in my 20s, late 20s, about a woman who started a business in the early 1800s. And the book kind of spans her whole life until she's an older grandmother, and she's built it into this big empire. And I always remembered how she walked with grace. She kept doing what she felt was right at the moment. And she figured it out. And I'm like, that's who I want to be. I don't want to be second guessing myself. I don't want to be having, like, for so many years, I thought men knew more than me. I just consult the men around me, right? It's like, I get it. They have wisdom and intelligence, but so do I, right? So do I. And it's all right here, right? So not putting men on a pedestal was something I had to learn how to do. That was something that happened in my family a lot. The men were revered, right? So she's
Janice,
already in there. Yeah.
could you also go to the wisdom part of like it? Yeah, that's the intelligence, but could you also put into that experience?
Yes. Well, and that
Um,
where the wisdom comes from too, right?
yeah, I think so. And like, many times I revered people of, they had degrees, a couple of, law degrees, doctorates and stuff. And it's like, I don't match up to them. I live my life in judgment of myself and comparison.
Yeah.
And when it all came right down to it, is they didn't have street smarts. They didn't know how to work on construction. They didn't know how to work on cars. I did, because that's what I did. And it was like, oh, you have a flat tire. Well, just get out and change it. Well, how? Okay, so you went to school for 5 years and you've got 2 degrees and good for you, but you don't even know what a lug nut is. And it's like, no, I wasn't putting them down. It was just like, doesn't everybody know?
Well, and
So,
it's valuing the knowledge that you do have, right?
and I didn't put any value on that for myself until my husband explained to me. He says, you're much more wise than any of those people that have those degrees. And I said, I don't understand. And it was all from experience. So,
Well, isn't
Yeah.
that what you talked about, Janice, about integration? Like
Mhm.
information is what you can put on a piece of paper, but integration is your experience plus that information, which equals integration, right? That becomes wisdom then.
Yeah.
So much. And all the love to them, because they weren't taught that either. And they spent so many years in school, and there's no room for your own thoughts in university. No, you're just like bombarded with information that you have to remember and digest and then spew out again in order to prove you remembered it, right? And there's no time, no room for integrating it into your body, to body wisdom, to and so yeah, I like totally. And so we've had the experiences, and I think women in general have taken in more experiences because they're more aware of everyone around them. And they've learned from that. They've gained wisdom from that. And that is so valuable. Well, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, totally. So yeah, think about that. and think about who you're becoming and letting go of that, guilt or shame for not having a degree. Like, it's okay. You've got so much more. And kind of the opposite in my household. I have the degree and my husband doesn't even have his high school diploma because his parents died when he was 15, and he's got a tragic story. He could write a book. But he's got so much. He's so streetwise, right? And he remembers things. I don't remember them. Like, I kept my university textbooks because I don't remember anything. I read them all, and I don't remember. He remembers random things, so we make a good pair. Yeah. So it's
That's so funny that you say that, because my father was from England. So he was apprenticed at the age of 12 into his profession. And then he married my mom, who graduated from Cal Berkeley, and her brother graduated from Stanford. And he was in the Bay Area during the whole boom of California. And everybody's conversation was like, where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to school? And he obviously didn't. So I grew up with watching him carry shame around that for all these years. And then I'm now married to a neurosurgeon, and he writes books about neurosurgery. Like, he's so smart. And he looks at me and tells me that he thinks I'm smart. And I look at him like, what? What are you talking about? But it's the street smarts. It's the, I have my degree, but it's the experience, and it's the willingness. I think it's the willingness to dive deep into any experience. So it doesn't mean that my experiences are different than Joe Schmo's experience, but there's a level of integration, to use that word again, that I have been willing to, or forced to, experience and to really deeply feel and know. That I have friends who have had similar experiences, and they just haven't been willing to go that deep with it. So that's a difference in integration and wisdom versus information.
Exactly. And that's, I too dove deep into the things that I experienced in life and learned and grew and healed. He didn't. He just shuts it off.
Yeah.
That's different, right? Yeah. It's hard to go there. And that's what they say. It takes a courageous soul to do healing, to go there, to dive into the wisdom that we gained. You got to be really courageous because it's not easy. Yeah. Okay. I
I
want
have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go.
Just back to letting go. I mean, we were talking about it yesterday too, but I had little kids in the background, so it was distracting. So, but letting go, sometimes that's something I'm struggling with right now, is letting go of of a friend that I know it's okay, it's over. So I try to cut cords to it and just in my mind cut it and let it go, and it feels good in that moment. But then it's been I don't know, almost a year, and it just feels like it kind of eats at me.
Mhm.
So anyone have some good tips for letting go of things that no longer serve you?
Well, it sounds like there's still some learning and growing to do from that experience. We can, in the moment, cut the cords and let the energy go and get relief. But if it keeps coming back, there's something there. Yeah, there's some gold in there that you need to dig through to find. And perhaps I often find there's forgiveness work to do with yourself, not the other person, but for yourself. And the forgiveness is expanding in the love for you, and knowing that whatever your part was in it, you were learning and growing and allowing yourself that grace to learn and grow. So I don't know what your situation is, but definitely we can chat if you want, Lane. We can be more specific, but that would be my part. Ladies, what do you say?
I would recommend giving gratitude like Jana said, we don't know the story, and it probably doesn't matter to us. It matters to you, and give gratitude for each and every experience that went through with that,
Mhm.
letting go. And you know what, oh, if this happened, and it's like, oh wow, I'm so grateful that now I have a little bit more time on my hands because it is gone. And oh wow, it just creeped up again on me. It's like, oh, I thought I let that go 8 months ago. Just pause and go, thank you for the experience, thank you for whatever it is that you wanted to teach me. That's my little.
Thank you.
I like to write it out, like everything that they're talking about, write it out. And sometimes I write it as a letter to the person, and sometimes I write it as a letter to myself. Like, I'm forgiving myself for not seeing what, if the instance is something that you didn't see in that other person, or whatever it is, and releasing both sides. And then I burn it with mugwort or bay leaves or whatever, Palo Santo, whatever it is. And imagine that as I'm burning it, it's also releasing the layers that are ready to be released and healed. Like, sometimes you do have to go back and do it again, but for me, it's more visual. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see it going away or whatever. But good
Awesome.
luck.
Thank you.
One of
Thank
my
you.
other mentors had a really brilliant perspective on this that I just have found out about. I haven't actually had time to do it yet, but she suggests writing a letter to yourself, like from your future self, looking back at that experience and how you're feeling right now, and talking about how you want to shift that feeling. So like writing from your future self to the person that you maybe are in a separate dimension from here, and like defining how you want to feel about it right now and showing gratitude for how you're feeling about it right now over in this other area. And then also writing a letter right now to your future self or to this other self in this other dimension. Like, these are all the pieces of this, and this is how, I mean, I can't give you specifics because obviously we don't know the details, so you can fill it in. But I think that was such a brilliant, for me, from the shamanic print study that I come from, being able to write that and then release it, as Micah suggested, through a fire ceremony is so powerful. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. I appreciate
Oh,
that. Thank you, everybody.
brilliant ideas. And trusting the timing too,
Mhm.
Lane. It might be too soon to release it all. Like some of the stuff I've released happened 14 years after the incident, and I didn't even realize there was that. I wasn't ready to release, and it took other things going on for me to let go. And I just thought I was done with it. So sometimes it comes back in layers, right? Like Micah said, you might have to do it again and again, and that's okay. But to be willing to heal it is the biggest thing, to be willing and ready. And I do write that in my journal too. Just like everyone said, it's like, okay, I'll write out what I'm feeling, all of the like, what is going on? I'm so pissed off. This is like frustrating me. And I just write out my feelings. And then it's like, okay, I'm ready to let this go. I want to clear this out. I'm ready to let it go. And if we try to rush it, it's not going to happen. But when the timing is right, all of a sudden something will shift and you'll be like, oh, that's new. I didn't see it that way before. So
Well, and sometimes asking the feelings around it, what they're trying, like what message they have for you, what they're trying to show you, can sometimes be like, oh, I did not realize that that felt like betrayal, for example, that reminded me of something else that happened to me.
yeah. Yeah. Patterns, they'll keep coming back. Okay, I hope that helps you, Lane. Thank you for asking that. You've got like a room full here of wisdom, so I love it. feel free, anyone, to keep asking questions like that to help us all go to the next level. So I just want to say a couple things before we end today on the quantum levels of manifesting, and that the universe speaks in energetics and emotions. It's so we've got like this incredibly deep, profound intelligence that we're working with. It's very wise, it's very old, right? And most people are not even aware of this intelligence. So imagine like you walk into a house party, they go into this house and everybody's there and they're all having a good time in the living room. Everybody's in this one room having cocktails and drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and it's a great time and everybody's happy just to be there and talk to each other. But you notice a door to another room and you're the only one that sees this door. And so you go through this door and there's a desk, a woman at a counter there. And you're like, oh, like, what's this? There's more here? And she's like, yeah, we got everything here. What do you want? What do you want? I'll get it for you. And you're like anything? Yeah, anything. And everybody else is still in the other room, having a great time and quite happy. And you come up to this counter, it's like the Amazon of the universe. What do you want? So you, ooh, okay. Step into my power by Modern. Okay. And so you go to the counter and you go, okay, well, let me think here. My bike is broken. It's been broken for a long time. It's got flat tires and I really like bike riding, but my bike is broken. And she's like, okay, one broken bike coming up, right? No, 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 no. I don't want a broken bike. That's not what I want. And I don't even know if I want a bike. And she's like, well, lady, what do you want? Right? And you're looking around and you go, oh, you got pickles too? Yes, we have pickles. Oh, that's cool. I like pickles. Okay, pickles and one broken bike coming out. Right? So it's like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. And she's like, lady, I'm busy. What do you want? Right? So we are often entangled in the energy of what we don't want without even realizing it. And the universe is ready to let it flow to you. We need to be clear on what we want and notice where we are getting entangled into energies that are taking us off track. So the universe has no judgment. It's old, it's wise, it's just like, just say it. What do you want? Just say it. And it doesn't create any meaning for anything that you want. We create the meaning when we manifest it or don't manifest it. We put meaning to it. The universe is just like, let me just channel that into you. What is it that you want? Okay, here it is, right? So we want to be clear on what we're entangling with, be clear on where our energy and emotions are. The more we focus on, and our emotions do this. So this is part of the emotional intelligence too, being able to navigate the emotions, because it's the deep emotions that will bring through what it is that we want. And fear is a very strong emotion. Fear will win every time, no matter how much you keep saying your mantras or affirmations. If there is the deep fear within you, that's what's going to show up. And also, if something is not showing up for you, it's probably because you have a deeper desire for something different. So, the one thing that I always, since I was like 18, I'm like, I'm gonna manifest a big log home. I love a log home and I want it to be big and big windows and big fireplace. And that's the one thing I always put on my vision boards, my mandalas. And it never came. And I was like, why? Why?
It's not there yet.
Well, maybe it's not there yet, maybe. But honestly, I really, there's a part of me that's like, I don't want the work that comes with a really big house. So I haven't quite cleaned that up yet to say, I keep saying, well, if I have a really big house like that, I'll hire people to take her. So I gotta have the resources for that. So but it hasn't been the deep desire for me as much anymore. It's like, so I'm like, so I say I want that. I think I want that, but the desire within me is like, but no, you want coziness. You want peace. That's what's going to come for you. So it shows up in a different way. So think about that. It's either there's something else deep within you that you're desiring more that's kind of counteracting that energy, or it's not here yet. Like Kelly said, maybe one day we'll see. I don't think I want it to be really big anymore though. Just a cozy cabin.
Question on that point.
Mm.
When you, it's like, okay, manifest what you want.
Yeah.
I am often struggling with, what do I want?
Yeah.
I've been blessed with many, many things, and I don't know if I have a lot of desire for things.
For things, right?
So
Yeah.
I might be just answering my own question.
There you go.
Talk it
So
out, write it out. But
it
yeah,
comes back to, who do you want to become? What
I
do you
think,
want for
yeah.
you within you? Like that, I do want to, I want a deeper connection with me. I want to love me more. I want to put me first or something like that. Yeah, because and the Abraham Hicks always said there's going to come a time when you guys want to get rid of everything you're manifesting. You got to clear it out. And we're there. People are trying to declutter, get rid of big things. People are going from, I don't know about you where you are, but around here, young couples are buying smaller houses. Like they don't want the big, beautiful house, right? They're buying smaller houses and renovating. And I see that and they're content with that. So we don't want all the stuff, but maybe it's experiences. But but being super aware of that dance in energy of what is it that you are desiring, because the universe will bring you what your heart is desiring, or it will manifest the fears because the fears are stronger. So being careful of like, I don't want this anymore. Why is this happening? I don't want, one customer to come into my program. I want more than just one, but there's this big fear of like, if only one shows up, right? So being able to identify that fear and then, the big thing is shine the light on the fears. So the fears are there. Yeah, the fear is there. It's always there, but also knowing that, you know what, if that happens, I'm going to be okay. Okay. I'm shining the light on it. And I'm saying that fear is there. That possibility is there because we're talking to the Amazon desk of the universe. It's all there. All the possibilities of things going wrong, all the possibilities of it not working out, but also are all the different possibilities of it being absolutely magnificent. So where are we going to put our energy? And we have to consciously work on that every day. So every day getting up in your journal and going, okay, where am I today? What am I feeling into? What fears are coming up and how am I shifting that? And anytime that fear, and you feel it, it's like this little clenching right there in your heart space, a little clenching, like, oh, we lost Micah. But definitely pay attention to that. Yeah. Okay. I was just checking to see if she had said goodbye. I missed it. All right. So fear is a super strong emotion, even when we're not trying to go there. So be careful of what you're energetically matching up with, what you're entangling with. So pay attention every day. What are you entangling with? Which energy are you an energetic match for? And that's huge, right? Okay. And that's it. That was actually longer than I expected for today, but we had a great conversation here. All right. Any thoughts, questions, comments?
I wanted to thank you guys for our conversation yesterday about apologies. It like rippled out, and I must have had 5 different opportunities to continue that conversation and to think about it deeper and to really ponder what that means. And I was thinking, Lane, that for me, part of releasing any energetic wound that I'm trying to get over is the apology piece. And so that might be supportive for you to be clearing. I think a lot of people try to clear, they just want to cut the cord and they want to get it gone. And, you know, cutting cords is actually something that I do every morning now. And sometimes at night before I go to sleep, so I can just clear some of this old stuff because it's been around for a really long time. And I'm telling myself all the time and asking the universe before I go to sleep, like, show me the way to get past this. Tell me the way to get past this. Take me to the next place. But we can't do it until we've done the work.
Yeah.
We've done the forgiveness of ourselves and of others for the way they've played in this playground. So anyway, I just really wanted to thank you guys for that conversation yesterday. That was great. And somehow I don't really come to conclusions until I'm saying things out loud. And then I'm like, whoa, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Where'd that come from? I don't know where that came from, but I really, it's like all of the pieces that I've studied come together when I'm saying things out loud in a way that they just can't get to the surface in the noise of my thoughts. So I appreciate you guys giving me a place to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. Thank you too. And I was gonna say something there. Oh, oh my gosh, this past year I have truly been walking through the pain and wanting it to be done and wanting the universe to show me, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this pain, this heartache? Like, please show me. And you can't rush it. And it was like, it was almost a full year before I finally came to a realization, and a realization and empowerment, and the place of like, oh, so I can disengage from this because this other person is perceiving, and that's kind of part of my video that I posted yesterday in our group, but perceiving through the eyes of fear. And I'm perceiving it through the eyes of love. And we just cannot get it together because we're in 2 different places, and that's okay. And so I can stop tearing myself up about this and let it go and let them walk their journey and just keep sending them love and knowing that this isn't about me. It's not about me, and it's okay. Right. And so the trying to rush through it, as painful as it is, you can't. You just got to walk through the mud, and the lotus flower will rise eventually, but it's walking through that mud that makes you wiser and stronger and more empowered, because when I got to that point and I went, okay, because before that I was like, what did I do? I need to learn. I need to grow. What did I do? What did I say? Like, I'm wrong here. I did something wrong. And then when I got to the point of like, no, I really didn't do anything wrong. I'm okay. This is a difference in perception, and there's nothing I can do, nothing I can say that will change their perception. So let it go and just be. Yeah. And I feel so much more peace and inner strength. And then, next time I can look at it, another thing, and go, you know what? This isn't me. But sometimes it is, but not this time. Thank you so much, you guys. Kelly?
I won't see you guys for a few weeks, unless I just by happenstance that I jump on. It'll be 7 o'clock in the morning where I will be.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll probably have these little people going, yeah, I need this, I want this. or I'll be just still sleeping. So I'll watch the videos and everything when I have an opportunity. But I'll be yeah, I won't even be able to connect with you for the painting one because we'll be in flight that day. So
That's okay. Yeah, enjoy
I'll
your
think of you
holiday.
guys.
Yeah, of course you will, as you're watching the sunrise in Hawaii.
Have fun, Kelly.
Yeah,
I intend
Hawaii,
to. That,
yes.
yeah.
Enjoy.
And
Have such a good time.
yeah,
we'll have our two littles with us too. So
good. That's fabulous. What great memories you're making.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know because I would miss you because you never miss anything. All right. You guys have a great day and I will see you next Thursday morning, the 11th, for our the creative mystic part and to look. All right. Thanks so much. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.